Hello and welcome to another episode of Prophetcast. Today is June 22nd, 2014. I'm Steve Hayes, and that is Drew Kosinen.
Hey.
Nice, Drew. And Dave can't seem to be getting his mic working right now, but we are the Thought Prophets. The Thought Prophets is an atheist/secular group dedicated to the promotion of open discussion, continuous learning, skepticism, and science. You can check out our website at www.thoughtprophets.com. Let me scroll down and remember all our fun stuff here. Yes, you can also follow us on, or subscribe to us and rate us on iTunes. And check us out on Facebook by simply searching for, I said simply search for again, man. Search for Prophetcast and Thought Prophets, and then join our Facebook group by simply searching for Thought Prophets. As I said, was going to be a special guest, has now been upgraded to co-host because David can't figure his mic thing out. He is an esteemed wordsmith and a fellow prophet, obviously. Drew Kosinen. How you doing? How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, Steve. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. You got a fancy setup. Oh, I'm highlighted on me. There you go. Now that way we can see Drew when you talk. I'm doing pretty good. You got a nice setup. I saw the picture that you sent earlier. It said you're ready to cast tonight. It's pretty sick. I'm excited.
Oh yeah. I went and got a new webcam and headset.
Yeah.
Needed one. Yep.
Yeah, it looks good. You look good. You know what I'm saying? Hey, how's it going?
You look pretty good.
Yeah.
I like your 5 o'clock shadow.
My 5 o'clock shadow. This has taken quite a while, right? And it's partially taken care of. My wife absolutely hates it. She absolutely hates it. But I'm getting people saying that I should keep it going. So now we got to figure out actually how to take care of it. That's the thing about it is, I don't know. I've never had one, so.
Got to get a beard trimmer.
That's exactly what I was thinking, because there's like all these frilly ones that are sticking out. First world man problems, I guess.
Yep.
So other than this beard that I'm rivaling, I'm trying to rival Gamma Atheist. So David, if you're watching, it's game on. And my beard will be a lot more beautiful than yours. I can assure you that. And if you want to make that into some kind of a challenge, that where we can maybe we can get some donations for our beards, and those donations can go to a charity, and whoever beard they like more, you can donate to, and then they will donate. I would donate all of those funds to a charity.
That's a good idea.
Right? I think that'd be fun. So, Gamma, if you're watching, which, of course you're watching. I know you are, because I love you, and you love us, which is great. I think I want to talk to you more about that, because that might be kind of fun. But so, other than me, and I could talk about me all night. I really could. What's going on with you, Drew? I know a few things. That's kind of a loaded question, because I know of a few things that's going on with you that are really, really fucking exciting. So while David sits here, now that we can see him and see if maybe he can talk and
Holy shit!
Oh, hey, hi, David.
Howdy.
Yeah, hi, how's it going?
Hi.
I waited 5 minutes for you, and then I said, "Fuck it." Drew is now the co-host, and now special guest. Special guest from Prophetcast is David Curry.
Hola, everyone.
Yay! Thanks, Dave. Anyway,
Sorry.
It's all good. It's no big deal.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, they're here for me anyways. It's not that big deal. It's you know what I mean. So of course tonight they're here for Drew, because they want to hear more about him. He's starting to poke his head out a little bit more here in the group. So we're actually starting to see him at least trolling us in Hangouts, so we can see when he reads our shit. So yeah, it's starting to do a little bit more blogs and write-ups, and I was just about to ask him what's going down. It's been a little while, I believe, since he's been on, and I was just saying he's got some exciting news that I really want him to pimp out so we can pimp more of it. So what's going down, Drew?
Yeah, well, I've been really busy because I just launched my house painting business. It's called 12th Can Painting.
Yeah, go Hawks.
You can follow it at 12th Can Painting. So yeah, I've been really busy getting that off the ground, but it's going pretty well. And
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Just taking it layer by layer.
Ha ha ha.
Is that a painting?
Sorry.
I think so. Yeah, I'm trying to lay it on thick.
Oh my god.
Oh,
All right.
You got a back roll over that shit?
Hey.
Oh.
Nice. Oh,
I'm gonna have to write
I don't
these
want to.
down.
Like, come on. Not all painters are like that. We don't want to brush in broad strokes. Come on.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
Jeez.
I know. Sorry, it's fun. That's why I was excited about his news because I
You've
had a
been
couple
thinking
of
about
them.
those all week.
I have. I've had a couple of them ready for a while. I've got a few more, but they're not coming to me right now. So they'll be coming here shortly. I'm sure just the middle of the show, I'll just start screaming back out at you. So
There you go.
be wary. Be wary. Sorry, wary.
Be wary.
Wary is how you pronounce that word. So cool. Other than the painting business and shit, anything else going down? Any you impregnate any women or anything like that? Anything
No,
really?
not to my knowledge, but
No, not not to my knowledge. All right. Well, fair. So there's still a chance. Cool. All right. Maybe next time on Prophetcast.
There's still a chance out there.
Yeah. Right.
yeah, no, yeah.
Atheist and Pregnant. It's a new show.
Oh.
Blog a little bit, like you said, but yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Cool. Mister, just let me change my mic out real quick when we have 1 minute before the fucking show starts.
Man.
Let me just change my mic. Dave Curry, how's it going?
It is going fairly well, actually.
Yeah. Anything new and exciting?
Yeah. Getting into my last week of my second semester here, and I actually got a passing grade in math. I fucking hate math.
Yes.
It's so necessary. I just hate it so much.
It is.
But had a birthday for my wife, and that was fun and interesting.
You had a birthday for your wife. She didn't have it.
Well,
you had it for her.
Had a birthday
That's
party.
very sweet of
for
you.
my wife. Had a birthday party for my wife.
I remember this party. I
Yes.
do remember attending. I remember attending very early. It was a tough day for me.
But it
Not the
it
day was
good.
bad. Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun party. It was good to see everyone and chill and hang out and meet Andrew. Is that right? Is that his name?
Right. Yes.
Aha! And then his wife's name I cannot remember. It's
Annalise,
Annalise, something like that.
Annalise.
But yeah, that's cool. Nice. Yeah, that was a fun party. And happy birthday, Dee, of course. Yeah. So cool. So we have. It's kind of nice to just have just a bunch of prophets. Oh, you're kind of frozen, David. I don't know if he's gonna drop again.
Oh.
Good. Again, see, this is why I have you, Drew.
He's
Here.
back. He's back.
Oh man, he's back.
Sorry.
Right. Damn it.
I tried to open Twitter and my computer freaked the fuck out on me.
Right.
I should just close everything. I don't know
gonna say,
what is
what are you doing? Yeah. No, I was just gonna say it's kind of nice to have just a bunch of prophets on, kind of like we did last week, Dave. It was just you and I to get kind of get through some. Did we do that last week? I think we did last week.
No, we had Jake on.
We had Jake on last week. Sorry, the week before. Sorry, Jake's awesome, and that was a great show. But it's kind of nice to to have just the prophets because we can kind of hit some things that are either like some local news. And some segue there. But also some of these things that we've wanted to kind of hit on, but it's sometimes tough when you not only do we want to make sure that we pimp out our guests, but it's so hard sometimes to pry away from just talking and having such a good time with a guest like Jake. I had so much fun. Like I went back, I just got done listening to the episode again. I think I listened to it twice now, and it is just I'm just cracking up at myself most of the time, just at me, because you guys set me up, which is nice, but. No, I thought it was just a lot a lot of fun to kind of talk and hang out with them. So
yeah, absolutely, definitely want Jake back on the show.
Yeah.
Maybe you can try to be a little more focused, but
that was I was as focused as we're gonna get beyond that of a script.
Good luck.
Yeah, and that was fun. I had a blast. So.
Anyway. Speaking of scripts, damn it, Steve, that totally reminded me. I do have some actually pretty cool, cooler, not as cool or cooler than my wife's birthday, but got recording for Paul. Finally got my script, or our script, whatever, over to me, and finally got my recording out there, about to send it over to him, and I'm fairly confident that I don't need to re-record, but it was awesome. Definitely looking forward to what Paul is going to do with this script that he sent us. So, going to be fun.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it too. It's gonna be awesome. Paul, and that's Paul from Cranify Me, of course.
Yes.
Who's badass. More pimpin', yeah. So Drew, since you mentioned this actually earlier in the pre-show, I figured that we'll have you kind of kick off some things here. You were because you had a great idea, since it's a bunch of prophets and all three of us happen to live, I would say, within throwing distance of one another, but a stone's throw is a common phrase used out, at least where we live, right? So, which we're not really a stone's throw. Well, maybe. I got a pretty good arm, but I figured, you're saying, hey, maybe we should talk about something that's local, and we just so happen, not even just local, but like, literally attached to my fucking name, was produced here
Produced by the Hayes family.
Yeah, shut up, whatever. It's from The Voice, it's produced here in local news. So I figured, why don't we talk a little bit about that? Tell me your feeling.
Valley,
yeah.
the local paper.
My local.
The number one news source for the Maple Valley area.
Number one.
Yeah, so there was this article they had called "Help, I'm a Parent" Part 1. So they're gonna keep going with this apparently, but.
Apparently. Hey.
Wow. Good. I didn't even catch that.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, it's just about biblical parenting. How the Bible can give you everything you need to know about parenting.
Oh, excellent. Oh, good. I've been looking for something that can just tell me all the answers I need for parenting. I took Ken Ham's advice for science, so I figure. What, he said it's just one book? Are you kidding me? Do you know how many references fucking Bill came up with? All those books and all that shit I gotta read? Fuck that. Ken just lets me read one book and I'm done. One and done.
It's the only book you'll ever need.
Exactly, and as Drew's clearly going to demonstrate here, that this is it. This is all we need. Do you want to read oh god, this article is infuriating.
Calm down, Steve.
I know. I've really got to take a pill, literally. So tell me about it, Drew. Let's talk. Tell the listeners about this fantastic one, because some of these guys they don't actually live here in the Maple Valley area. They're not familiar. And for those who aren't familiar with Maple Valley, which would really not surprise me, even if you live in Washington, we are south of Seattle. So let's just go with that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. The Voice is the local newspaper here, and this article is kind of like a local church. What's it called? Taylor Creek Church or something.
Yeah, Taylor Creek Church, yep.
They have like a running article with the paper, and there's this parenting one, and what, you want me to just start off and read the article?
Yeah, well, I figured, I mean, like, either read the article or read, I threw some bullet points in that thing, I think where you're highlighted there, like how he starts off, and then I figure we'll just go through. He only gives us three of his main points, and then he talks a bit about them, right? So just kind of get us started by how the article starts off. Yeah, kind of get a feel, give the listeners a feel, and then we'll post the link in the doohickey thingy down there. I'm trying to remember what
description.
I know it's called description, but I'm trying to remember what the people that my wife like, Hank Green and Hank Green says, or I want to call it Josh Green, but I don't feel like that's right.
Oh. Steve, apparently, I'm getting reports in that we need to turn up Drew's mic.
I turned him up just a little bit, so you might pull yourself a little closer there, Drew. Try that now.
How's that?
That's probably better. I turned you up, so that should be good. So good. I don't have the.
Well, you are pretty loud, Steve.
Well, that's pure nature, baby. That's one of God's gifts. He's given me the voice of God. He's given me a godly voice. It's amazing.
So let's find out what this article has to say about that.
Yeah, sorry, because this article really is infuriating, and there's a build-up. I feel the build-up coming. You know what I mean? It's fucking intense. So.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, he just starts off and he says, "What do we need to teach our children in order that they might turn out well?" And then he references Psalms 119:9 and says, "Psalm says it all. How can a young man keep his way pure? By living according to your God's word." And then he says, "As parents, we are to teach our children to live according to God's word. Over the next several weeks, I would like to share what the Bible tells us concerning teaching our children well. So this is going to be a several weeks running segment in the paper.
Right, and see, already, I've already found a couple of errors, but one of the things is he said, I would like to share what the Bible tells us concerning teaching. He missed, I would like to share some, or certain parts, or, select,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
it-
The parts that I want you to hear is the parts we're going to go over, not
well,
actually.
it's also funny that and I was talking to Drew about this during the pre-show that he talks about how might we what can we do in order that they might turn out well, and here's what the Bible says about making them turn out well. I mean, it's
Turn out well.
like there's some sort of control that you have over what your child ends up doing.
Or you mean like being a good kid versus a bad kid, or turning out to be a good person or as a bad person?
Well, yeah, a good person over a bad person, like their decisions that they're going to make in the future, where it's like you can only set up a foundation, but after a certain point, your child is going to make their own damn decisions. And setting them up on this shoddy foundation sets them up for a shoddy, foundation for the rest of their life when they are able to make their own decisions, unless they somehow get out of that.
And what kind of wedding do you think they're going to have? A shoddy type of wedding.
Shotgun wedding.
And I'm full of them today. Anyways, Drew, you're probably going to say something a lot smarter than I have so far, so.
No, I wasn't going to add anything else on to what you guys just said there.
Nice, perfect. You're right on par, which I'm sorry. That's tough. Well, getting into his first teaching, the number one teaching that he has here, which I absolutely love. It's probably one of the things that I definitely try to teach my children as a father. And his number one thing is that you need to teach your children to fear the Lord. Fear thy Lord, fear thy Father. He mentions, and again, we say he. I have the article. I can't remember who it is, who actually says it, who actually wrote it. Anyways, sorry, I can't remember who actually wrote it.
I got it here. I can find it.
Nice. But anyway, so he references Proverbs 9:10, and says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, which is probably one of the strangest things that, I mean, not one of the strangest. There's a lot of strange ones, but you know what I mean. Like, fear is the beginning of wisdom. Being scared shitless is the beginning of wisdom.
Well, I mean, if you want to put it in evolutionary terms, like we did learn a lot from our fear, but
there you go, yeah.
Yes, yeah, but we're supposed to have fear in the Lord, though. It specifically says, right?
It's not the basis of wisdom, though.
Right. I think it's also that kind of, like how there's people out there that will say, we need to increase the severity of like convictions on crimes and things like that, where if people are fearful that they're going to get the death penalty for killing another person, they won't kill another person.
That's a great foundation to set society on. That I couldn't see that possibly blowing up anybody's faces there. Just teach them to fear the shit out of authority, whoever's in charge. Not to mention
what they're telling your children to fear. You have to teach your children to fear the Lord, and this Lord that we're talking about is pretty hateful. And
yeah, well, if you read those parts, again, we don't know what parts Taylor Church yet. I mean, we know a couple that he's referenced so far. So far, they've been pretty good, but we're not sure what he's going to fully reference in here. But you know what I mean? Like, it's like I said, that they don't read the whole thing.
Well, I was just going to say that this is from Pastor Jason Caton from the Taylor Creek Church.
Caton.
Jason
Caton.
Nope.
I know. I went to school with one guy that's a church minister there. So, but that's not him. But anyway, so fear. So fear the Lord. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So we're fathers. The Lord is our Father, right? So, essentially that's nowhere close to the foundation that I stand for, that I come from. I don't teach my children to fucking fear me. I don't want them to be scared of me. I want them to come to me, and find comfort in me and trust me, and
right.
I want them to to look for wisdom in me because they see it from my mistakes, or maybe they gain wisdom from some of my, my prophetic words, or not. Maybe they, I don't know.
Well,
Fear is not the way that that works.
yeah, it's just really weird that that's the number one thing. Like that's the most
Mhm.
important thing
Right.
is to teach fear of the Lord.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
I totally want my children to fear my wrath.
right, exactly. To be afraid of.
Just you wait till your father gets home.
Uh-huh.
And
Just
how
wait.
do they put the fear in them? Because they teach them about hell and original sin. So it's
Exactly.
that's the
Mhm.
most important thing is you need to get them while they're young and teach them that they're
Fear of punishment.
Right.
yeah.
Well, I mean fear of punishment, but just also when they're susceptible to believing things like that. Like, I mean, so I have a 6-year-old, and we talk about Hercules, and we talk about Zeus, and we talk about a whole bunch of the bunch of the gods, and sometimes, like, there's things like, for example, I think just recently, and I got to ask him again, but I think he said that he now does believe in Santa Claus or something like that. So, like, kids, it flips back and forth, for so long until they finally, really start to think about it. But that's the thing about it, though, is that they flip, and they really can't tell the difference sometimes between what is and what is reality and what isn't. And when you have a group, a community like a church, a huge backing of people that are saying this is real, this is real, this is real, I mean, what do you expect's going to happen? I mean, it's and yeah.
Well, it's all about, obedience also, which
Boy.
leads into the number 2
Segue
most
Dave.
important thing that you have to teach your children.
Yes, which, I mean, right, hand in hand with fear. Not only fear them, not only do you have to fear me, but you also have to obey everything that I say. I don't see anything here about questioning or being skeptical, or so far nothing about using your brain. It's right now fear, and you are to do as I say. So both of those are not use your brain. Both of those don't really promote critical thinking there so far. But go ahead.
Right.
Sorry, continue.
Well, actually, my document is getting cut off, so if anybody wants to try and read that.
Yeah,
number
number 2.
well, we should talk about the Bible verse there.
Yeah, the verse he used.
Did David say that already?
Nope. Go for it.
Trying to fix it.
It says, correct your son, and he will give you comfort. He will also delight your soul. Proverbs 29:17.
Yeah, and that's in reference to the guy says that you need to expect your children to obey at an early age. Disobedience must be met with immediate consequence. And then the Proverbs.
Well, and this is a good example of like how there might be one or two things in the Bible that are valid. Like, okay, you do need to teach some discipline and stuff, and if you're going to set consequences, you need to stick to them. But that's not like that's not one of the 3 rules of parenting. Like, you also need to teach them to use reasoning on their own, and teach them why they need to obey you instead of just teaching them to obey out of fear.
Yeah. Teach
Well,
them how to think, not what to think.
Exactly. Yeah, it's we want to teach our kids how to think, not what to think, and I think that it also goes along with do as I say, not as I do. In a way, where it's because a lot of these Christian parents, sometimes they don't follow the book either. I mean, there's people who get divorced and who are adulterers and things like that, and it's like, do as I say, not as I do. Follow God's word, but do it better.
Yeah, except for when except that he can make exceptions, because he, of course, is the Almighty God. So
that's like an overarching thing that Dave kind of brought up, is that the article is just like there's such an aspect of fear and control. Like, they just have to have control over everything. But I mean, if you're gonna raise kids, sometimes you have to let them go off and make mistakes on their own so that they do learn how to think. And
well, isn't fear and control really the basis of any indoctrination?
No, well, fear is a tool used. I mean, that's one of the main tools, right? Like,
especially when fear is the number 1 step, then that's brainwash. Like,
that's your red flag right there. Like said,
big red flag.
We have a loving God. Oh, really? What? Tell me about this loving God. Well, first thing you need to do is fear the shit out of him. Wait, what?
Because if you don't believe this, let me tell you, he'll send you to hell for eternity. So.
Right, exactly. So you don't want that to happen. And the second thing is you need to do everything that he tells you to do. So I mean, I'm loving so far, right? You can tell how much this guy loves us.
Right?
Oh man. Anyways, so the third fun thing he gets into is that we need to guard their hearts. And when he says in his article, when he refers to hearts, he says the heart refers to the mind, and it is the seat of emotion. And he said, that's kind of like, okay, I'm still not sure what you mean by that, because I don't know if you know this now. I'm not sure about you guys, and I guess this might be a good time to check this. And same thing with any of the audience out there too. If there's anybody out there, my heart pumps blood, and that's pretty much all it does is pump blood, from what I'm aware, and it doesn't think or like feel or anything. That's my brain that does that. That's
just ice cold blood.
Yeah, that's.
And well, I mean, that's that whole aspect of believing with your heart and letting your heart decide. And I mean, it's not just a thing with religion where your heart is also a thinking factor in your decisions. I mean, that's everywhere. You can see that in Disney movies.
That's why they say it's the seat of emotion. They're just saying you have to follow your emotion, because if you follow your logic, then you won't believe this fucking garbage.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
But I think it's funny how, like, right after that, he says we need to watch over the hearts and minds of our children, protecting their innocence. This does not mean to shelter them, but rather to protect them.
Yeah.
So it's like this doesn't mean shelter them; it just means shelter them.
Shelter them. Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure that if you put in a thesaurus, I'm pretty sure, protect and shelter would be within that same.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and then of course naturally the Bible quote that he uses is Psalm 119:11, and it says, "We need to instruct them in God's truth. Plant His word in their hearts so they can veer away from evil." Sorry, this is not what Psalm says. Sorry, this is what the guy says inside of his article. Excuse me. We instruct, right? So we can veer away from evil and navigate around temptation and things that are destructive. And then he quotes Psalms 119:11, which, for those who would like to know what that actually says and doesn't want to go take a quick look, it says, "I have hidden your word in my heart, that I might not sin against you." So basically, I guess he's telling you that he's referencing that because God doesn't lie to you. Is that what that's kind of what I'm getting out of that? What are you guys getting? How are you guys feeling about this?
Yeah.
other than
I don't
angry.
know. Do you want to go first, Drew? Because I'm still trying to collect my thoughts on that.
I don't know. That's one of those. I've hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. I don't know why they use the word hidden. Like, it's just one of those parts where the Bible is strangely worded, and it doesn't really make any sense.
Well,
I think that it is really one of those passages where it is up to your own interpretation.
Well, it says in I wish I could.
Well, and it's already translated anyway, so who knows what the
but I mean, because it's worded so weirdly, and I mean, it's like, I have hidden my word in your heart. You can take that to a couple different ways, I guess.
Still appeal to emotion, irrespective of when you want to go to it, because you're just again, your heart pumps blood. It doesn't do anything else. Your brain.
Yeah. I really think that it is, trying to tie more into your emotions are more important or more dominating in your thinking process than your actual brain, than your actual logic.
Well, yeah, and that can be bad, because I don't know about you guys, but as much as I can process a lot of logic inside of this head, there's one of my heads that is really good at tricking my emotions. Like, it's really good at it. So you know what I mean? Like, to just say that emotions should be
Technically,
acting
that's
on
still
over.
your one head.
Well, it is, but it's
How
awfully,
how
it's
that
awfully,
dominates?
it's awfully
Still technically
influential. I'm just saying.
It's
It
all
has a
about blood
secret
flow.
language. Yeah, exactly. Well, yes. And so,
Restricts the blood flow. Yes.
you know what I'm saying? Exactly. My mind just can't process so much. It's thinking something else. But, I'm just. I just, I guess I'm just looking back at this guy's overall message, and essentially right after this, he just goes on to, oh, if you have questions, call our church or blah 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 blah. Right? I'm just looking at this message, and I mean, it's fear, obey, and
Shelter.
shield and shelter. Exactly.
Mhm.
Fear, obey, and shelter. So, I mean, by just following just those three. Now, of course, we have more to learn to come, as we've learned, which we'll probably follow along, because I'm sure they'll be just as inspiring as this one was. But
Oh yes.
you just look at that and just think like, okay, so here is what he is suggesting is a foundation for parents for teaching your kids: is fear, obey, and shelter them from everything. I mean, again, none of this is promoting critical thinking. None of this is promoting thinking by itself, or even like I think you were saying earlier, Drew, being okay with yourself and who you are, and not thinking you're just some evil, fucking, vile piece of shit just because you were born or you have the sins of your fathers.
Yeah.
Which it's just, you know.
I mean, if this is the basis for his, series in parenting, I just cannot wait to find out where he goes from here.
Right? Well, and I bet, and see, here's the best thing too is I'm sure I would love to see. I looked and there's no comments, but I would love to see. I would really love to see, like, take this over to another church and then have them, check it out and say, what do you guys think about this? Would you guys follow the same kind of thing, or how would you interpret it, or whatever, and see how, what out of the big book of multiple choice, what would be their first three things that they would come out with, and it would be something completely different, or maybe it'd be the same thing, but they would teach it, something different. That, you still need to fear the Lord, but fearing the Lord doesn't mean what fear actually means. What it means is to just recognize that He is all powerful and could kill you at any second, and that if you don't believe in Him, He's going to send you to a fiery pit of hell to burn for all eternity. It's not that kind of fear. It's like the knowledge kind of fear. Do you know what I mean? You're with me, kids? You are with me, kids? Oh, right, because you guys can't comprehend this stuff yet. Right. So, okay, just keep following along. Yes, nod your heads. Yeah,
No.
you know what I mean? It's just disgusting that this is the shit that they want to teach your children. And with kids being so susceptible, as I see my three kids, as they are in different ages, and and David, you're a parent, and Drew, again, you don't know if you're a parent, but you've got a niece, right? That's
Yeah, I have two nieces and a nephew,
two
actually.
nieces and a nephew. There you go. So still not a parent, doesn't count, but that's still close. So
I mean, I would be
someone else in your family has had sex. You know that.
There you go. I mean, personally, I would be very upset if, someone, even within my family, was trying to teach this to my child, to say that, you're not allowed to question, you must obey me. And you must fear, my retaliation if you are not a good person, or if you do not do well.
Or if you don't obey me. If you don't obey me, then you are to fear me, right?
Right. Oh, yeah, that's exactly what I said.
That's but you say what I say all the time. I don't know if your mic's working, Drew. I hear beeping.
Oh, yeah, I muted it for a second.
Gotcha, cool. I was just like, whoa. So, anyways,
imagine, if you had your kid going to a daycare and then all of a sudden you found out that they were teaching this to your kids. Like that guy in the Facebook group was talking about.
That's right.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, exactly. Yeah, that's absolutely terrifying, and a lot of of course a lot of Christians. Well, I don't see any issue with it, and then it's just because it has the word Christian, they all associate with it. Must be good then.
Yeah, it must be safe.
It must be
no
safe.
harm in it.
Yeah, they all believe in we all believe in the same book, and then when you ask them face to face, tell me the difference. They don't agree with it.
Even at its most base level, its most harmless level, it's still really harmful, because you're teaching kids that they're born with original sin and they owe their life to worshiping Jesus,
right?
Or else they're going to face eternal punishment. Like,
exactly.
I mean, I can kind of remember what it was like thinking about that as a kid. Like, I was lucky enough that it wasn't really forced on me, but
yeah,
I remember thinking about that, and there was a lot of people who seemed to believe it, so it was
right.
Like, that's kind of stressful for a kid. It's like, well, what the
Exactly.
That's the way that I kind of felt also when I was a kid, where it was like, well, the people, all of the people around me, as far as I know, believe in these same things, and so, then I kind of have to believe in it
Yeah,
also, now, don't
yeah.
I?
It's funny you say that because that's exactly that's not exactly, but that is that exact situation just came to play with Danny, our 6-year-old. We asked him, we found about the Pledge of Allegiance, and we was curious. We're just like, oh, you say the Pledge of Allegiance? I didn't even think about that. And he said, he was like, well, do you say under God? And he says, well, yeah. And I go, well, how do you feel about that? And he goes, well, he's like, most of the kids in my class are theists, so I don't really care. Like I just whatever, I don't really care. And so and I'm just for me, I'm just thinking about the same thing. Like I guess I was pretty oblivious to a lot of stuff when I was a kid, so maybe I was kind of lucky to that, to where I never really noticed that I always made fun of it, like one nation under Canada or something like that. Like I mean, I was that kid, so I never really took it serious anyways. But again, it was just that kind of situation where it's just like my kids are in a public school. And even in a public school, this stuff is going to be around. This is why you can't necessarily be so apathetic about religion and pretend like it doesn't affect you, and that it's never going to affect you. Is that you're going to come home, your kid's going to come home one day, bawling their eyes out because their friends said that they can't hang out with them anymore because they didn't believe or didn't know what God was, and that they're going to be going to hell and they're going to be burned for all eternity. I've heard and read plenty of stories about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, it's like people will think that it doesn't affect them or it doesn't affect other people around the world also.
Right.
Like with this crazy ass shit that is going on in Nigeria right now.
Yeah.
With a fellow Twitter atheist. This is blown up in the last week. It is outrageous. Yeah. We're talking about the hashtag that has been trending, Free Mubarak, where at Mubarak Bala on Twitter, you can go to his Twitter page, and the last tweet that he put out was on the 20th, saying how he's been drugged and he's been being held against his will. I'm just going to read off the notes that I have here, but Atheist Revolution reports that Mubarak, his father, has decided that atheism is a mental illness, and that Mubarak had Mubarak involuntarily hospitalized on the psychiatric unit of Aminu Kano Teaching Hospital. I don't know. It's in Nigeria.
You're doing awesome, Dave. Keep going, buddy.
Sure. I mean, like, this shit is fucking ridiculous because he is possibly going to be executed for being an atheist.
Right.
An atheist. His father is apparently a huge player in the Islamist movement in Nigeria. Yeah, he's a politically powerful individual who has him committed against the advice of a medical professional. He's an Islamist and supporter of our favorite boy band, Boko Haram.
Hey.
Yeah, Mubarak has renounced
capture all the hearts of women.
Right,
or just women. I think it's just capture women.
He's openly declared himself as an atheist. Recently, a human rights lawyer was sent down there and attempted to speak with him, but was unable to get past security. So if you go to his Twitter page, you can find things where his family has beaten him and has incarcerated him in this psychiatric ward.
Right.
The doctor that is watching over him has literally been keeping him drugged and sedated, and they apparently his father hacked onto his Facebook and put up a post where he was declaring that he was a Muslim again. And they are trying to keep him incarcerated under, being clinically insane because he no longer believes in Islam.
And see, and this is, I think, again, a great example of how this is the nonsense that happens with religion, and it may not be you, the common garden variety Christian that kind of follows the Bible, but actually has never read the Bible, that doesn't have any idea what's in it. This is what happens. This isn't just fundamentalists that this kind of shit happens to. This kind of shit happens, like David said, all over the world, not necessarily just right here and around your area, which it does happen in your area too. And it's still going on in 2014. This man, the only thing this man is guilty of is thinking for himself and said, hey, you know what? I don't think I believe these teachings and what's in this book. That's the only thing that he's guilty of, is using his brain and thinking critically. And and look at him now.
And because of that, people like these religious leaders, his own family thinks that he is insane because he doesn't believe in the same religious bullshit that they do. And
they use religion as a tool to keep to enslave him, to use to use it as power. Mm-hmm. That's all religion is power. It's used for power and to gain power, and it's just got its fingers in everything.
For not believing if they want, like they can think we're all crazy for not being believers, but that's what happens when religion gets too deep into government. And there are still people here in America that will say that they want this to be a theocracy. That would be the best.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, what would happen then? Like, what would happen then to, those of us who don't believe in the same religion as they do, or don't believe in the same myths as they do?
Exactly.
Like, what would happen to people who are non-Christian?
If we opened our mouths and said what we believed, then we'd be tried for blasphemy.
Right. We'd be beheaded.
Right. But, I mean, not only for, like...
You'd be stoned to death, actually. Sorry. That's what would happen.
But I mean, not only for, like, not just atheists, but just people outside of Christianity, like Jews and Muslims and Buddhists and Hindus. Like, this isn't something that just... When a theocracy happens, it's not just unbelievers that are affected. It's even people outside of that religion. Yeah.
Right.
So if you think that you're safe just because you believe in a religion... you're fucking wrong.
Yeah, it's exactly, and that's the thing. Like you're saying, a lot of people don't think of is that when they hear this religious stuff, like, oh yeah, we could be a theocracy, like oh, it's going to be on the Bible. Oh yeah, totally. Because that's what I believe in as well. That's where I get my core values.
The Bill of Rights was based on the Ten Commandments.
Yeah, you hear all this Christian nation nonsense, and then you ask how many people have actually read it, knows what's in it, even knows what the laws are, and that's what I mean. Like, kind of like you're saying, when religion gets involved with government, so it's going to start to involve some of its laws from the religion into the government. There's 613 laws commanded down from God, not just 10. The first 4 of them, the 10 that everybody knows, 40% of the first 10 are all about worshiping God. I mean, this guy's a fucking douchebag. But anyways, there are things like and many people know this, they just choose to ignore it, like no shellfish. You're not allowed to eat shellfish. You know that. That's not a secret. That's not like oh really? That's in the Bible?
Most no tattoos.
Right? No tattoos. No shaving. You don't be around your woman when she's on her period. I mean,
no mixed fabrics.
No mixed fabrics.
No mixed fabrics. I mean, my 50-50 cotton blend.
No.
I gotta get rid of that.
Exactly. You know what I mean? This swag, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not getting rid of Charmander. It's not gonna happen. But I just like. You know what I mean? Like, this is like what of those 613 beliefs. Many people will be like, oh, some of those are so barbaric, and it was just within the times or context or some nonsense that they want to try to spin it. But it's like, look, this is what happened.
And that's what you want to preach to your kids,
exactly.
in the 4 to 14 window. Mm-hmm. Like, that's the most important thing that they need to read is the Bible, so they can get confused by all this fucking all the revenge and murder and rape and
right, and not to mention try to pick the right one. Am I a Baptist? Am I Southern Baptist? Am I a Protestant?
Yeah, and that's something that I was
Mormon? Am I this? Am I that? Fuck.
Well, that's something that I was thinking of also. It's like, if we do at some point decide to become a theocracy, or a theocracy is forced on the country, it's like, which version Which interpretation is going to be the leader of it? Is it going to be just the literal interpretation of the Bible, or is it going to be like a Mormon theocracy or a Southern Baptist theocracy?
And which salvation method is going to be the law? You know, is it going to be
Right.
a sprinkle baptism or a full submersion? Like,
Yeah, and
Can
are
you
those-
imagine those kind of battles? Oh, that'd be awesome.
That'd be fucking ridiculous. People fighting
Congress
each other.
is torn.
Right?
We think this should be full submersion.
Yeah,
You don't
we are full sprinkle.
That'll cost too much water.
And then there's those who are like, you don't even need baptism, motherfuckers.
Just good deeds. All you need is faith.
Faith, just
Oh.
believe in God, or just believe in Jesus, and thou shalt be saved.
For the
And what's
economy.
funny is that we already have that. It's just that it would be exploded.
It would be worse. It would be similar in like Islam and or like it is over in Iraq with
The
Islam,
Shiites
where
and the Sunnis
the Shiites
killing
and
each
things,
other
exactly.
over interpretations.
Exactly, and well, not even that. I mean, even what's the fucking law that they use? I want to say I thought it was Sharia law.
Sharia,
Yeah,
yeah.
Sharia law. Like I said, I mean, there are people like I said, guys in Egypt and many other places, atheists that have been beheaded. There are Christians that are even being killed and attacked and and captured and things. There are people of other beliefs. It's not the thing that we're not bitching about. It's not just always about atheists. For us, to tend to follow, we focus on atheists because that's what we are. We don't have a lot of people who talk much about atheism, but if you look at it, like everybody gets hurt. It's because it's everybody who doesn't follow what it is that they tell you to follow gets hurt. That's what you want. That's the type of way you want to run our government. You think that's going to be the best way to run things, and we're going to somehow promote love and helping one another? Are you fucking kidding me? Like this is disgusting.
I was just trying to look up because I think that up until recently in like early 1900s that there was still factions in the United States, religious factions killing each other. I want to say like the Quakers or something, that there was a point where
Probably. I mean, well, the point is that even outside the U.S., like the fact is whether a lot of Christians realize it or not, there's more of the world than just the U.S., and it affects more than just them, and just because it doesn't affect them directly doesn't mean it's not a big deal. It's not a big problem. Being the apathetic fucking douchebag. Oh, it's not a big deal. That it's okay. They can have their beliefs. The Catholics can have their beliefs because they can keep having over 600, or is it 800 now, different counts of moving child molestation. 800 counts. They can go ahead and have their beliefs. That's fine. They can go ahead and continue to go into Africa and promote not using condoms and continuing with the AIDS epidemic. They can go ahead and have their beliefs. It's okay. It doesn't affect me. Religion's okay. Your beliefs don't affect anyone. Exactly like you were saying, Drew. It doesn't hurt anyone. It's just yeah. Even the smallest of things that they say, the smallest of things make the biggest of differences.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. But
It
I mean,
really is.
if anyone wants to get involved in what's going on with Mubarak and his situation, we're going to have links in the description. There is a petition that's going out there to try and get him removed from his incarceration, basically. There's also who is it? Godless Mom is actually leading the charge on a lot to I heard
she's
it
coming
from-
up. She's going to be up on an upcoming episode here soon.
Yeah, you know, I heard it actually from Nancy Drew PI, who sent it to me, and this is
Also
blown
coming
up
up on
so
an
much
episode.
that it's showed up on pathos.com. So
Nice.
yeah,
Well, I
we're
mean,
gonna have a link
this
to
kind
all of that.
this kind of stuff this is like what, the second or third, or I mean, this is not the first time that I've heard on this kind of a thing where someone has come up as an atheist or has come up as some kind of different belief where they've been reprimanded by their religious family or their community or something like that, just because they're either they're not a believer or something to that effect. Just so that you guys are aware, we have 10 minutes. Fair warning.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm pretty
I told
sure
you.
that there are 13 countries in the world where it's illegal to be an atheist.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, where you could even be killed. Man, some if not,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say some, you can actually be killed for being an atheist.
Yeah.
Egypt is one, for example, right? Didn't they just put out that? Is it fatwa over there? Is it because it's Muslim based? It's a fatwa. Did they put out that fatwa that atheists
I
it's
think that was
terrorism?
Oh,
No,
yeah.
that was Pakistan.
Was it Pakistan? I can't remember who it was. There's whatever.
Egypt is they're trying to get into more of a democracy, but their government
Are
is
they?
still kind of screwed
Okay.
up. Yeah.
Like I said, yeah. There's stuff going all sorts of crazy
Like
things
people
going on.
want a Muslim Brotherhood leader in there, and other people want more of a democracy. So there's still kind of fighting going on in Egypt,
Man.
but the
Both
global 24-hour news cycle has moved away from dealing with Egypt. They don't care about that shit anymore.
Yeah, well, that's just your typical American politics. It's 2 weeks and it's gone. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just like you look at like the Scheibels, those people who killed their kids with faith healers. I mean, that kind of stuff goes away. The chick. I mean, yeah, I don't even want to get into it. I don't want to make it negative. The last fucking 10 minutes of the show.
I know. I mean, that is a perfect segue into those Oklahoma parents, but
Well,
now you're denying me.
I know. Well, no, I mean, like I said, you can if you want. I mean, so yeah, there's crazy things that people do again in the name of religion. For example, like these parents in Oklahoma who locked up their demon-possessed 6-year-old, Edward Everett, 28, and 32-year-old Crystal Everett were arrested last Thursday in in Canada.
This was
Country.
like last month.
Oh wow!
I
Last
tried
Thursday
to
by
find
last
an update on this. Yeah, I tried to find an update on this, and I actually haven't found anything past May 20th. It's really weird. Yeah.
That is odd. Anyways, the point is that they found their 6-year-old with like cattle prod wounds and like beaten, and he was like starved and like things of that
Apple
nature.
cup to pee in.
Yeah, that, here, I can just go through it. When authorities arrived, they said that they found the boy sitting in a fetal position inside a bare room. He only wore underpants and had bruises covering his forehead, eyes. The boy also had burns and sores all over his body. The parents claimed that the wounds were self-inflicted and that the boy was possessed by a demon. Sheriff's Office and Department of Human Services said they learned the child was fed only one meal a day and was routinely beaten with a leather belt and buckle. The burns and sores the child suffered allegedly came from a cattle prod used to shock and burn him.
See?
The father was booked on complaints of child abuse and child neglect, while the mother was booked for enabling the abuse, which that's actually something that I've noticed is a trend in a lot of these crazy-ass religious parents who abuse their children in this way, that it's normally one of the parent is charged with the actual abuse and neglect.
They get the big thing.
Right,
Yeah.
and it's like you can't actually tell these two people, it's like, you motherfuckers did this. You both deserve this shit. One of you does not deserve to get a lesser charge for locking up your child, beating him and shocking him with a fucking cattle prod, and starving him.
Right, and pretending like it was self-inflicted.
Full time. Serious.
Yeah. It's just and again, demon possessed. That's why we bring this up. I don't know if they're Christian, if they're Hindu, if they're Muslim. I have no idea.
They're Christian.
They're Christian. Oh, okay. So so they're Christian. So demon possessed.
Come on, Oklahoma. Come on.
Well, okay. I was really trying to give benefit of the doubt, but you know what? Yeah, again, I thought all Christians were good, nice, happy people, right?
Yeah,
Just like the American Family Association, right? How they refused to accept mail stamps with the Harvey Milk postage stamp. That was pretty fucking ridiculous too.
You really want to try and get all of these in this last minute.
I don't know if well, sorry. You know what? Let me switch my headphone out real quick. Let me switch my headphones out.
Oh.
Yeah. Chew. So.
Hey,
Did you just call him a Jew?
What the fuck?
A chew.
I don't charge interest.
It's a chewa. It's from WildStar.
Oh. Right.
Yeah.
I feel like someone's gonna.
Nice recovery.
Thanks. Thank you. Anyways,
Nobody ever seems a reference.
anyways, yeah, I thought that was, like I said, that's ridiculous. God, I mean, there's so many things I really want to talk about. Like the Harvey Milk thing, I think that's pretty obvious, right? I mean, it's no surprise.
Well, I mean, the American Family Association is, the same association that says that,
One woman,
Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve,
right?
or not Dave and Steve.
Hey.
Hey, but no, I mean, yeah, they're the same ones who say that, the traditional family is a man and a woman, and that allowing homosexuals to, adopt children is abuse.
It's abuse and it's harmful, and yeah, it's just.
It's frustrating
It's
frustrating how they call themselves the American Family Association instead
Well,
of the
yeah.
Christian Family Association.
Right. That's that whole word association game. That's what Christians are very good at. They're good at associating, America, Christian, good, faith, love, God, like they try to associate all these fucking lovey words with their shit and with their religion, and their religion is not that. If you look in their book, I'm not even just trying to talk. I'm not even talking about fucking Christians.
Great.
I'm talking about the Christianity. What is in your book? It's what a lot of people understand too. That really pisses me off. How many times I get fucking accused of just like, oh, you hate Christians. No, I hate what's in your fucking book. I've read your fucking book from front to back, and what's in it is disgusting. And you, I respect as a person, but I don't have to respect you. I don't have to respect the fact that you believe what's in this nonsense. I don't have to respect that. Don't have to at all.
Right. And you could also say that with, a lot of the other religions also. You could say that with Muslims and Islam. It's like, I respect you for being a person.
Yeah, and I respect you to have a belief.
But I do not respect the belief that you believe in, because it is fucking bullshit.
Right, exactly. And they say, well, I interpret it this way and I interpret that. It's like, that's fine. That's whatever you want to interpret, whatever you want to, again, the big book of multiple choice, whatever you want to pick and choose and pull out of, that's fine. If you keep it to yourself, that's great. But the problem is what people don't recognize, and again, I really hope this gets across to some people. Well, the thing that people don't recognize is that I can tell the difference between the doctrine and the people. I can tell the difference between what is in their their religion and the people of the religion, people of the religion, and what is in their book is the things that I have issues with. And the fact that they choose not to look at that, the fact that, for example, one of my favorite, Dave, it's the one I go to every single fucking time.
Dude.
Exodus 21. Every single time they skip right on through that slavery chapter stuff. They go right past it. I found Amanda's Bible from when she was a kid. She had in Matthew. She had Matthew. I want to say Matthew 6:5. 5:6:6:5 highlighted where and I'm just gonna keep doing this highlighted where she only had half of it highlighted. The first half, it's the part in the Bible where God says to go behind closed doors, don't be like the hypocrites around you who proselytize in the street and preach and pray in the street. Go behind closed doors, pray secretly, and blah blah blah. The only thing that was highlighted was the pray, go inside and pray inside, God loves you, blah, 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 blah. Like, that whole, don't say anything outside and keep it to yourself was not highlighted. That part was skipped over, and that next piece was highlighted. And so, like I said, it's a big fucking book of multiple choice, and a lot of the things, as we just learned, as we just talked about earlier, to bringing it back up to that fucking stupid-ass article from The Voice, as we learned earlier, some of the foundations that are in this book, at least, guess what? The Taylor Creek Church, this is some of the foundations at least one of the pastor uses, that they're trying to tell, hey, this is what we should be teaching our kids. Fear, obedience, and shelter, and protect them.
And sheltering, yes.
That's their foundation from this book. Oh, but not me. But that's not me. I'm not that Christian. I don't believe that. Oh, I believe this. Oh, but I believe in forgiveness. Oh, I'm only about this. If you're going to call yourself a Christian, you take responsibility for the whole book. Same thing with a Muslim. You take responsibility for your whole book. The whole thing. God, I hate it when that's
it's just like the analogy. I think that I heard. I think it was probably Russell Glasser, or it may have been Martin Wagner who used it. Where?
Oh yeah!
No, but it's kind of like a football team where the entire team goes to the Super Bowl and if the team wins, every single player gets a ring, even if they weren't actually playing in the game. Yeah, even if you were sitting on the bench and you never played at all, you still get a Super Bowl ring for your team going to the Super Bowl. It's the same thing. Even though you're not involved in all these crazy-ass fundamentalist shit that is going on, you are still part of the fucking team.
Yeah, exactly. Because you stand with that label, because you stand with that logo on your helmet, and that's the jersey you're wearing. I mean, that's what it comes down to. So, all right, guys. We are at our hour mark, and that's what our listeners like. Let's get to.
I'm telling you, man, hour and a half is where it's at. But
yeah, but I want to make sure people. You know what? We'll let it to the listeners. Email us prophetcast@thoughtprofits.com. Send us your guys' opinions on whether or not you think we should extend the show past an hour, or do something more. Maybe I'm not really sure. I like the hour and a half because we can get to a lot more, but I also want to make sure that I want to make it kind of short and a little sweet, so we can try to keep people's attention. I don't know, but
right.
But Drew, let's just wrap it up. Did you get anything? Is there anything you didn't get a chance to say, or you feel like you want to get out there or bring up before we close up?
No, I think we pretty much covered it.
Sweet, Pimp. David, how are you, man?
Well, always the links in the description because it's getting closer and closer to July.
It is.
Help us out, please. Please donate. It's think of the children.
It's for the children.
Think of the children.
Donate to Dave's wife.
Warrior Dash, please. Yeah, just donate to my wife. I don't even care at this fucking point. Just donate something.
Yeah. Anything else?
No
pimpins? All right. I always got pimpins. I got pimpins. So, pimpins, once again, my number one, because I absolutely love this man. Cranify Me, Paul from Cranify Me. Guys, please go check out check out Cranify Me, cranifyme.com. Follow him, Twitter, Cranify Me. Check out the Cran, because it's fucked up. It is absolutely fucking crazy. And I'm not even sure. That's also one of the main reasons why I keep trying to pimp Cranify Me, is because, I've read the Bible a lot. I've read it a number of times. I know a number of things that's in it. But the Quran is something I haven't, and Paul is very entertaining. I absolutely love him. He keeps me interested, and he actually his energy really gets me going. So it gets me going for this and gets me want to keep reading. So definitely check that out. Check out Godless Family. That's of course my wife's podcast. You guys can check them out, godlessfamily.com. Follow them on Twitter, Godless Family. That is Amanda and Aubrey are the host, co-host. They're switching off, so I don't know what they are. They're the talking people on that show, so definitely check them out. Imaginary Friend, I'm just going to take off just a big list of you guys here. Imaginary Friend Show, Jake Farwarden again, last week's show. Thank you so much again for joining us, Jake. That was so much fun. Cognitive Dissonance, check out the Atheist Experience, check out the Nonprofits, which we used to be called. Russell Glasser is going to be coming on our show here in the future, so definitely familiarize yourself with a couple of those. The Herd Mentality, and My Book of Mormon, David. We're going to be having David on here soon. That's going to be awesome. That's another one. It's another good one to read. I haven't read the Book of Mormon that much, so definitely check out him. And as for blogs, check out our blog at blog.thoughtprofits.com. Check out Amanda's blog. It's Humanist Mom, humanistmom.com. You can check out Nonprofitess, even though she's not part of the Thought Profits anymore. She still has a great blog and puts out some great things to say. So check out nonprofitess.blogspot.com, and you can follow her at Nonprofitess. And my goodness, how on earth did I fucking forget Gamma? Don't forget Gamma Atheist over at Atheist Hangouts, as well as I believe he's working with the Richard Dawkins Foundation. He's got some cool shit going on. Like he has some really cool.
Well, he's working with the American Atheist, and he has Dave Moscato on there a lot.
Yes. It's amazing.
And I think that he was working with wasn't it their last Atheist Hangout that they had where they were working with Be Secular, trying to raise money?
I think so. Was it the 24-hour one you're talking about? I can't remember. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and I think I might participate in something like that next time. Now that we're kind of getting a little bit more of a name and trying to get a little bit more involved in the community. So, but
nice.
Definitely check out David Viviano, or Gamma Atheist, as most people know him. Follow Gamma Atheist on Twitter. Again, just search for Atheist Hangouts. He's got lots of them. I believe they're on Thursdays now. And Godless Family, Godless Family's on Tuesdays. And then, like I said, use iTunes or whatever your favorite way of like subscribing to feeds. Our feed is podcast.thoughtprofits.com/feed. So that's how you can get to us. Or just go to iTunes, rate, subscribe, go to our website, follow us. Yes, gentlemen, Drew. Actually, I'm going to say, David, thank you for joining us as a guest this evening.
No problem. I'm glad to finally be here.
Yeah, I've been meaning to get you on as a guest for a while. I really just want to let you know that I really enjoy your show. I think that you do a great job. You do a great job keeping your host on topic.
Awesome.
But
I'll pass the message along.
Yeah,
the segues are amazing.
Yeah, they are. They're definitely they're a lot better than what
Steve never fails to point it out every time.
It's just it's something I or that person, that Steve guy, really he really likes the segues. So thanks again for guesting. Drew, thanks for co-hosting, man. I really appreciate you jumping in so David could switch his microphone real quick.
Fucking stupid.
Yeah, hey, my pleasure.
Yeah, it was awesome. And I know that you're going to be more involved. Again, we're doing more blogs and things of that nature. So check out our website more. I'm going to try to keep it updated. It's really hard. I'm so sorry. I have so much shit going on right now. But the wife said she's going to help out with that. So check out the blog. Check out our blog. Check out our website. Check out everything else that we've mentioned. Because we've got some cool shit going on. So thanks again, everyone, for joining us. And you have a godless night.